What would you be willing to share online if it was 1940? What would you use social media for? Would you use it to rat out your friends, to show your support for the Nazis publicly, or try to use media with a goal to resist? Who would you trust? Would you follow Anne Frank on Instagram? Propaganda was one of the most imperial and influential tools the Germans used to infiltrate and brainwash their people. It became a core aspect of everyday life as it was present in every form of media, ranging from newspapers over to movies to music and radio.
When I was a kid, I was a Nazi through and through. I was singing the songs of the SS and the SA day and night. It drove my mother crazy. I mean, I was only 5, but you would hear the chants all day long. The youth groups would march through the cities non-stop. It was all around, but my parents didn't want to educate me on this topic because I was quite a big chatterbox. That wouldn't have ended well. I do think that Hitler wouldn't have taken over in 1933 if the media that exists today would have already existed back in the day.
On one hand, they used arguments to generate fear of unemployment and other issues, while on the other, creating a generalized in the people's ideologies in order to create one community with the same set of morals and values.
Третий рейх фактически строился на одной пропаганде. Очень скорого рая, да, то есть рай наступит очень скоро, потерпите.
Their intention was to unite all Germans and isolate them from other nations.
Высокоразвитая цивилизация, вокруг которой живут одни варвары.
Hitler was highly supportive of the use of technology, which made propaganda more successful as it could have been implemented in various sectors simultaneously.
Это добавляло ему ореола положительности. У нас до сих пор стоит такая аксиома, да, что прогресс это всегда со знаком плюс.
Ja, er werd ontzettend veel propaganda gebruikt. Heel veel posters. Radio, ook bioscoopfilms.
If social media had existed during that time, it would have consequently also remediatized it. This would have caused the progression of the invisibility of the media, which also made it easier for the Nazis to control it. As the Germans were brainwashed through propaganda, social arrangements would have caused them to riot for the Nazis as it would have been a zombie walk. This is when people are not sure what their intentions are, but yet they follow one another as the way of not being incorrect or in the wrong. If social media had existed back then, most social arrangements such as protests for the Nazis by the Germans would have been broadcasted faster, but it would have also been less opinionated and more of the zombie effect as the Germans only knew what Hitler believed was right. The algorithmic turn was also used by the Nazis as propaganda was created specifically in demand of what Germans liked, for example in radios and cinemas, which the Germans enjoyed for entertainment and brainwashed them.
Фактически создается новая культура, да, с помощью того же радио, появляются радиооперы, появляются новые фильмы. Причем основа этих фильмов была именно массовость. Все это, конечно же, позволяло формировать образ такой единой Германии.
Furthermore, through surveillance, we may also dive into censorship. During those days, the media was highly censored in order to maintain the controlled environment the Germans wanted to sustain.
Пресса была под цензурой, свобода слова, собраний тоже фактически были отменены. Нацисты остались единственным рупором. Они контролировали коммуникацию, они контролировали информирование населения.
Je ziet de illegale kranten die riepen op tot verzet. Dat waren natuurlijk onooglijke blaadjes. Getypt en gestenceld, maar die riepen wel op van laat je niet verleiden, hou vol, geef niet op. De verzetsbladen, de verzetskranten probeerden dat dan toch uit te leggen in de hoop dat de brede bevolking dat bleef steunen. De P voor Victorie, die werd geïntroduceerd door Churchill, die werd gebruikt door de geallieerden, dus vooral de Engelsen. Op een gegeven moment was dat zo succesvol dat die Duitsers hebben besloten, we gaan die actie overnemen. Radio Oranje en de BBC die zonden natuurlijk vanuit Engeland radio-uitzendingen uit die opriepen tot verzet. En die werden wel verstoord met stoorzenders. Helemaal op het eind, toen ook de spoorwegen niet meer reden, is er een illegale telefoonnetwerk opgezet voor het verzet. Okay. En dat hebben de Duitsers ook nooit ontdekt.
For instance, before the process of Anne Frank's father publishing her diary, consciously took out personal parts of the diary that he felt should not get to the public.
Если бы, конечно же, все это было опубликовано даже в современном виде, в дневниках, это, конечно, бы сделало образ Анны Франк более человечным, более живым.
If Anne Frank had had a blog sharing her experiences, it would have most likely been censored in countries that were occupied by Germany. However, she could not be disciplined by other nations, and therefore the true life of the oppressed could get shared to the outside world, generating generating further resistance and support.
Когда в виртуальной реальности ты видишь, что часть социума вырезает, а каждый человек все-таки подразумевает, что он является частью социума, то здесь возникает такой эффект, что вырезают часть тебя. Нацисты встретили бы очень сильное сопротивление, скорее всего, и Третьего рейха не существовало. Вся его политическая активность, она бы перевелась в виртуальную сферу. Не было бы Холокоста, не было бы Третьего рейха и не было бы ужасной, скорее всего, Второй мировой войны.
After taking our various sources into account, we can conclude that it would have been life-threatening to speak up online against the Nazi Party and shed light to what they did. But after collecting different perspectives, we have come to a conclusion that through social media, information would have traveled faster and the Allied forces could have interfered earlier due to the public pressure they would have gotten.